Check, check, check.
Check. Check.
Our mic should be
check.
cut. Yeah, you don't want to. You shouldn't hear us at all. So I just double checking.
This is our DNA! This is our DNA! This is going on! This is our DNA! This is our DNA! This is going on! We will not compromise! We will not compromise! We will not compromise! We will not compromise! Show me your crazy! Teach me your way! Can I find it from you? Lose my way! Free! Don't tell me now! I need to reach farther than my understanding!
Don't fail me now. Need to reach farther than my arms can hold.
Welcome everyone to episode 3 of Tornado Tag Podcast. We're going to bring a little bit of everything tonight because we have not been doing stuff for a long time. Intro music tonight by I put out a post today saying anyone who's interested in getting their music heard and getting it out there. Torment Ridden, they're a local band from Pottsville. They were off for a little while. I have a little bit of a bio here. They had after 7 years, they had a quick revival here. They're back in the area. They do various, heavy metal and rock. They're looking for some bookings. In the comments and descriptions below is everything we have there. If you guys want to, take a look at them, listen to the rest of their music, it is all there. So we are live right now on YouTube. Welcome everyone in the chat now. So, we're going to run down the table here a little bit and say who we got. So I got special guest tonight, Ben. Ben's going to fill in. You guys all know Ben.
Yep, I'm here.
Next to him is, the two regulars, David Michael and Tyler Budwash. No Andy tonight. Andy went to
Shady Maple.
Shady Maple. So
Shadow Maple.
Shadow Maple. He put Shadow Maple in the chat. So he's in Shadow Maple. And then we have a special thing tonight. So this is someone I've always wanted to get a part of this podcast and project. Is my buddy Austin. So I met Austin through his father. Me and Steve, my buddy Steve Fulton, every Friday we used to go to the thrift shop. We would buy suit jackets and dress like old men, and then walk down to Farlow Subs in Pottsville and get food, and then eat a bunch of food, and then come back and watch wrestling. So we went there for a couple weeks, and that was our ritual, and then his dad has a very funny sense of humor. So if you ever go to Farlow's, he probably has ribbed on you because that's just his thing. And he goes, what's your plan tonight, guys? And I'm like, we're gonna go back, we're eat a bunch of food, or we're gonna watch the WWE Network. And that's all he heard. And then from then on, he's a very smart wrestling fan, Austin's dad, and Austin is too. So we have him on the phone tonight with us. You want to give a little hello, Austin?
Yeah, how's it going? I didn't know the demographic for Farlow's was old men, but I'm glad you enjoy, and I'm glad to be here to talk about some wrestling.
Awesome, man. We're excited to have you. So a new thing too as well. If you're in the chat and you're following along, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do that for us. It does help us out a lot. And in the description as well, we started a new thing with all of our chat, with all of our live shows. Excuse me 1 second. I had the beer burps already. So all of our shows have a Facebook page. It's like a group, so you can go in there. You can share your own news stories that you want us to cover or talk about or get your insight on. We're going to share some as well. So we have that as well. So if you're brand new to this and you kind of want to follow along and kind of talk to us a little more frequently and often, check us out on the group page there, and we will definitely interact with you and get you in. It's a good way to find out what we're going to talk about or our insights on some things that you may not hear on the shows. So check that out at the Tornado Tag podcast group page on Facebook. So
we have to go all the way back to the beginning of November.
We're not going to go crazy too far back, so we'll cover the important stuff. So
correct.
I didn't watch much of Final Battle.
Samesies. I watched one match and then my feed cut and I got a refund.
Yeah.
And then you still got to watch it.
Yeah.
And then there was the Final Battle was the ROH pay-per-view.
Correct. Their WrestleMania.
Yes. And then we had the New Japan had a pretty big one recently.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Yes. So I know, Austin, you've probably watched both of those, correct?
I haven't seen Final Battle, but I saw all of Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay. So how much of Final Battle have you watched, Dave?
I watched the whole thing. I couldn't have been happier with the pay-per-view, but I was a little shocked because I thought Zack Sabre Jr. and Jonathan Gresham would have been the match to watch that night, when in all reality, Hangman Page and Jeff Cobb completely stole the show in a 20-minute match. I was completely blown away. 5-star match. I've never seen two big guys like that just go that hard and actually have that style of match.
Yes. Like I said, I'm still a baby, and I'm slowly being birthed into some of the more other stuff outside of the WWE. But if I were to build a company and I was going to put all my eggs in one basket and pick a guy to run a company, I would hire Hangman Page. Everything I've seen to that guy, I think in my opinion, now I know a lot of people are big on Omega. In my opinion, he's my top runner in that crew. That's just my opinion.
There's nothing that guy can't do right now. And
he has a great look, and he's phenomenal in the ring. I know because we don't want to go too long with it, but any other thing on that pay-per-view that stood out to you that you want to talk about?
Honestly, the main event I was a little disappointed in. I thought it could have went a lot further and a lot longer than what it did, but it was the ladder war between the Young Bucks, SoCal Uncensored, and the new 10-time Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, the Briscoe brothers, the first ever 10-time tag team champions.
Oh, wow.
In Ring of Honor history. So overall, I gave that pay-per-view 5 stars. I couldn't have been happier with it for the price. They went all out like they always do, and I couldn't ask for a better pay-per-view to watch that week.
Yeah. That show, I heard everything you're reviewing there is exactly kind of what I heard from the other side of the spectrum too. Same with the New Japan pay-per-view. I heard they knocked it out of the park. It seemed right, like how they say it's always good to have competition. Mm-hmm. And now with the, we'll talk about it a little later, but the new AEW knocking on the door, everyone's going to have to step up. And it's time for other wrestlers to kind of showcase themselves, because now there's a lot of open spots in other companies. So Ring of Honor, from what I heard, they definitely close out they're coming into their new season, we'll say, with some steam with that show.
They are, but now they're extremely shorthanded, because in all retrospect, Marty Scurll has a title shot coming up, but Marty Scurll's contract is up.
Yeah,
in
who
April.
knows how long he's going to stay. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I had a conversation with some friends the other night. I said, yeah, you could take the title off Jay Lethal, put it on Marty, put it on him until after the G1 Supercard event, and then that's WrestleMania weekend. That takes you to the end of April, which he could drop the title and
move on.
AEW.
Yeah, we'll get into a little more of that with some theories in a bit here, but we'll talk about. We'll slide into that New Japan pay-per-view. Austin, anyone else besides Austin have seen that?
I've seen the first half of it. I
I watched a few matches.
Okay. From what you guys seen, anything you want to talk about there?
I watched the Jericho match first, and it was good, but a lot of people were saying it's his best work ever. I don't see that. But I mean, it was a solid match.
Okay.
It was good for what he is now.
Mhm.
So
I saw the first couple matches. I saw the Okada and Switchblade Jay White match, and I was disappointed because this is Wrestle Kingdom. Okada is like Mr. Wrestle Kingdom there, kind of like Shawn Michaels was for the WWE. And I just thought that it felt like he jobbed out the Jay White.
Okay.
The match was good, but the match could have been better. But I felt like Okada jobbed out the Jay White just to get him the push with Omega. They know Omega's leaving. They know
they want Jay White to be that next guy.
They want Jay White to be the next Gaijin. They want him to be the next guy.
Yeah. Jericho, during the Jericho match, I seen something interesting. He lost a nice little chunk of hair, taking a DDT on the ramp.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah, that happens.
Oh, yeah.
So I
Austin-
saw the whole show start from finish, and I think for the first half specifically, the best thing I could say is that I was disappointed. It's not that the matches were bad. It's just I felt all of the matches, and not even the first half, but all of the matches except for the double main event seemed rushed. Like the Okada Jay White match was really good. I just felt like they were only given about like 15 minutes, and those two probably could have put on a match given the amount of time where they could have really done something special. And then Taiji Ishimori and Kushida, that match felt short, and it didn't feel like a normal Kushida match where his matches are super exciting with a lot of counter wrestling, and I didn't really get that from that. But the Jericho Naito match, honestly, I think that match was better than Jericho Omega. I don't know if it was because it was less of a fight, and it was I feel like it was less brutal without using an extensive amount of weapons. There was just a lot of just disgusting head and neck spots, and I really actually liked that match. And Jericho shows that he could still wrestle in almost 50. So AEW's got a really nice star there.
Mm-hmm. My opinion was, I think coming into this new season and this new adventure of contract moves and everything going on, I think everyone talks about where's Omega going, where's this guy going, where's that guy going. I thought, in my opinion, and I may be biased because I'm a WWE guy and I'm a huge Jericho fan. I mean, I'm a diehard Michaels fan, but in my opinion, so far the career Jericho has had, and he still has so much left in the tank, he rises to my number one of all time, in my opinion. Jericho just continues to change he can change without changing, and he just continues to reinvent himself. I think he's the biggest grab coming into this new contract season. And people will say Omega is, because more people are, what's Omega doing? But at the end of the day,
it's Jericho.
Jericho is going to bring more eyes.
He's a household name.
Yeah, right? He's going to bring more eyes to your promotion, and he can do anything you want him to do.
The Elite kind of has like a cult following, if you want to call it that.
Yes.
They're going to pull their crowd. They're going to pull all their fans that they've had. Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to back away from them. They're going to follow them till the end of the world. But Kenny Omega has options. It's sad to say, but Kenny Omega has a lot of options.
Yeah.
Don Callis is one of his good friends, helped him get into the business. Don Callis has his foot in the door at Impact. So Kenny Omega could go there.
I don't see him going Impact.
They'd have to sell the company.
Yeah. I just don't.
Now, that's just
not even Kenny Omega.
That's an option to stay away from Vince. Now, option 2 is Vince.
Yes.
You go there.
I think Vince is option 1.
Take your money. You take your money. You take your licks for 2-3 years, whatever it is, and you walk away with your money. And then you go join your brethren. Or you go with option C, you join your brethren, and you just go balls out for AEW.
Or you stay in New Japan.
He's not staying in New Japan. He's already He's
I
not
don't
gonna
think it's
stay.
a money thing at this point for him.
I
I
don't
think he
either.
just wants to put on the best matches of his career,
I
and I
agree.
think the best spot for him to do that is WWE.
I agree. I 100% agree. See, my personal opinion. We'll get it. We'll shoot a little further into this. So my big thing, just kind of tie up the New Japan, unless Austin has anything else, is I do like my big thing with the Elite, and I do respect them, even though they are literally on top of the world of wrestling outside of the main faction of WWE, and they went into the last couple pay-per-views and all laid on their back and took a loss, which is it's a very humbling and it's a very good thing to do for the business. They didn't leave on top. They didn't say we're taking all of our momentum. They took their loss. They even put it in their show like, hey, we kind of fell, but we're gonna rebound. You know what I mean? Because going into starting a promotion and you took all your losses, that's kind of big too, from an outside perspective.
And I don't think they cared either. I really don't, because they knew what they were doing. They knew it was going to happen. You can't go into Wrestle Kingdom knowing that you're leaving and have them book you over.
Now, I think that's playing ball. So I have two theories here. Well, I'll do my one theory with AEW and my other theory with Kenny Omega. So my AEW theory is, regardless of what Dave Meltzer's saying, because I think he's a giant work as well, I think AEW is going to have a contract in place where people can come and go as they please. I think you're going to be an AEW guy, but I think you're going to be able to go work other shows and other pay-per-views because that's what's best for business. And AEW is going to do anything they possibly can for this first year or two to get more eyes to their business. And if that's letting one of their guys go to a show and wear an AEW shirt and wrestle for New Japan and then come back, that's going to help them. So regardless of what people are saying that when you're AEW, you're stuck AEW, I don't think that's going to be their business moniker. Mm-hmm. So I think a guy like Kenny Omega can sign there, or a guy like the Young Bucks, or they can all sign there, and they're free to go and do another Ring of Honor match or a New Japan match. It won't the same doors won't be open for WWE, but I think that's going to change down the road too. I talked to you about this a long time ago, and I think that's the way the wrestling business is going. You need Vince out of the way for that to happen in WWE.
Hunter has to take control there.
Yes,
it's time. I'm sorry, Vince got the company at this point, but Vinnie Mac, time to step aside, buddy.
I still don't think it's going to be that way with them, though. I mean, I can see it with the Elite and everyone. Like, I already heard like their contracts for them. You can basically go anywhere, just you can't be on TV. You can't show up on Impact. I'm pretty sure you probably can't show up on ROH. Lucha, you can't show up anywhere, but you can work probably
house shows.
New Japan, you can do random mini shows around the country, but you just can't show up on TV if you're under contract with them unless you have some sort of deal. Like Jericho has one. I'm sure if Kenny signs, he'll have one. But I think you're allowed to work everywhere else. You just can't be on TV.
I know they gave Janela free range to do his spring break shows.
which is rare. So he does have that. He's allowed to keep doing it then too, not just this year, but next year he can do it.
And granted, it's a pay-per-view. You can get it on Fight Network for $9.99.
It's just not on TV.
Yeah. So here's my two bold predictions here. One, Omega is going to WWE.
I think that as well.
I think, and my other prediction, he shows up at Royal Rumble. Now, everyone says his contract isn't up for 2 days after that.
He can show up at Monday Night Raw the next night.
He's not going to do it. He's going to be at. That's my prediction. He's at Rumble.
Either that or he shows up in NXT Saturday night.
No, he's going to bypass NXT.
Yeah, he's going to bypass it. Even though AJ Styles has been
NXT all you want, you can still show up there.
Yes. I think he shows up. I think he shows up at Rumble. I don't think he's in the Rumble though.
What do you think he does then?
I think he costs AJ the title.
Yeah,
I think
that's exactly what I'm
that's how I would book it. He comes down and he costs AJ the title, and now you can have them two in a match at Mania with no stipulations, just some really good wrestling.
It's just like Jericho and Styles.
Omega's going to come in and he's going to have a couple rivalries. He's going to have a couple feuds. He's not going to get a title push right away, but he will have one by the end of his.
He'll be a top guy, just like AJ was the entire time.
He will have it by the end of his first year, going back in his next Mania. He will have a title.
My question is, Kenny Omega has a very unique moveset. WWE does not permit some of those moves. How much is his style going to have to change?
He'll adjust.
So I'm pretty sure the V trigger is probably going to be a select few guys will be willing to take that. But I don't see them letting him use the one-wing angel as a finisher.
Everyone said the Styles Clash was never going to happen in WWE. It's been used more times than ever.
The Canadian Destroyer has been used a few times by Mysterio now, so who knows?
Yeah, he pulled one off on
last
Andrade.
Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Last 2 Tuesdays.
So that's my prediction, and my other bold prediction. And if there's anyone on the planet that can pull this off, it's him. You will see. My other prediction is you will see Chris Jericho in the Royal Rumble. He will come out. He'll make one last appearance, just to smooth it over. WWE's like, hey, listen, because at heart he loves his WWE. He loves WWE. He loved everything they did for him. He comes in. He does a quick Royal Rumble spot. He's not going to be an Iron Man. He's not going to put crazy time in. He comes in as like a legend guest. Probably gets thrown out within 5-10 minutes. And then he goes off in the sunset with AEW, and he ends on good terms with WWE.
I can see that, and he only signed for what 2-3 years.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can see him obviously going back then too.
Yes.
Most of his contract though is more of a promoter behind the scenes, less in ring.
Yes.
So he's going to be more of a producer.
Okay, that's very smart. But a couple of days after his signing, he did put a tweet out with a picture with Triple H saying, "Hey, thank you for everything." So that's my. Do I think it's 100? I wouldn't put my house on it, but if anyone can do it, it's Jericho.
And the first producer actually signed to AEW is Billy Gunn.
Yeah,
which shocked me honestly.
Yeah, well, he just wants anything at this point.
Yeah,
because he got in trouble at the NXT Performance Center for what steroids and hitting on girls or being inappropriate girls.
Yeah, it's Billy Gunn. He's Mr. Ass. He's going to do as he pleases.
Yeah. So is there anything else to that New Japan pay-per-view, Austin, you want to cover?
The only thing else that there's two things. One is a very simple, quick one, and that's Zack Sabre Jr. is amazing, and I hope this is the year for Zack Sabre Jr., whether it's Ring of Honor or New Japan.
Yes.
And then the other one would be the main event, Omega versus Tanahashi. I'll be honest, I wasn't super excited for that match, but then those two put on easily my match of the night from that show. Tanahashi, he really always surprises me with how good he is. I don't follow it too closely weekly, and then he'll be in a big match and I'll see how good he is and why he deserves to hold that title. But the styles clash that Tanahashi hit Omega with in that match, it gets people thinking all right, that's a hint.
Yeah, 100% that was a hint. It didn't finish him though, right?
No. Correct. Yeah. It was also midway through the match.
They're not stupid. They're not dumb. I mean, yes, Omega's going to go with his friends eventually. He will be in AEW. It's just going to happen. But he's going to do W. I just feel he's going.
I feel it'll help them out more if he goes with Vince first.
100%.
He'll go there for 3 years. He's a big star now, but he'll be a huge star after that. And then to go there afterwards, it'll be so much more of a big deal if you went there now.
Yes. And the thing is, they don't even have a TV deal set yet, right? They have one until they're a company.
They are actually speaking with
next year.
Access TV.
Yeah.
Same company that puts over New Japan. So if they can,
I think that's a dumb move. I think if
not everyone gets access, do they?
No, I
really know.
If you're the Khan family and you have the money and you want to play big ball and you want to come in here,
TBS or something.
Yeah, go TBS, go TNT. How great would it go TNT and go head to head with Monday Night Raw?
Great.
That's exactly how you do it.
Not even just go Tuesday nights. I mean, SmackDown's leaving. Tuesdays are going to Fridays when they go to Fox.
Yeah.
So there's an open time slot. There's no wrestling on Tuesday.
Yeah.
8 to 10, 2-hour show live every week. Boom, there you go.
I like it. And then you're not in competition, but you're kind of
you are but you aren't.
You are, but you aren't. Exactly. I think that's a smart move.
That
now there's
one night open.
Yeah,
there's Wednesday nights open till Lucha's back.
Well, Wednesday is NXT.
NXT is.
And
Lucha's still a thing though. I didn't hear anything about season. I haven't watched. I only watched the first 2 seasons because I lost that channel after I moved.
From my understanding, Lucha Underground is on slate for season 5, but they lost a good bit of their talent.
And I heard they're holding a lot of people hostage then too with their contracts.
Correct. Shane Strickland, Killshot, is rumored to be headed to the Performance Center, and he's one of the best high flyers going right now.
I want Angelico. Bring him over too.
Apparently, they asked him 2 years ago, and he gave Regal a big old no. He says, I'm not going there. He offered him everything.
Silly.
Speaking of Evolve guys like Strickland, Austin Theory, watch out for him. John Cena posted a picture of him on his Instagram. The man has the almost perfect physique for WWE, and he's going to be wrestling Gargano pretty soon. So WWE has their eyes on him, and I have my eyes on that product as well.
Plus, Evolve is just like a farm league for NXT anyway now. I mean, they're putting people back and forth. They've been recruiting talent from them for the last 3-4 years.
Do you think that starts? Do you think that Evolve stuff starts moving to more just instead of doing more Evolve stuff, they're just going to slide that NXT UK of it?
No, I think Evolve's going to keep doing what they're doing. They have a whole network of, feds there. It's a bunch of people. It's Evolve. Who else is with them? They're all in the
Progress.
Progress. WXW is there sometimes. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to ever change that, but Evolve's basically like a proving ground, I guess.
And that lets NXT shuffle some of the guys down there they don't have time for.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of NXT guys don't want to leave. They don't want to leave.
I wouldn't want to leave because you're right now, at least the last year, all the signees, they're getting big-ass checks.
Yeah.
They're not getting the checks people got 5 years ago when they signed.
Yeah.
So to work what they're working, you figure they do TV once a month. They probably do house shows once or twice a week, if that. I don't know that schedule, but still, you don't gotta travel that much. You're mostly home, and you're getting paid basically main roster money almost.
Yeah, and people are respecting your brand more because you're on NXT. NXT is probably the only.
NXT's a cool thing if you like that. If you like that programming, if you like entertainment, sports entertainment, it's a cool thing to like as NXT.
Yeah, you're allowed to like NXT, but you're not allowed to like
you're
main roster.
Like Raw.
Yeah. So NXT had a pay-per-view as well, the UK pay-per-view. I didn't get to watch it all because when we were at your father's house, he fell asleep and Heidi was falling asleep, and it was super late, so we called it. I didn't get to finish it yet, so I didn't see the end. But
I watched the full thing.
But you guys can spoil or anything, because probably the stuff you're going to spoil, I don't even know the people you're talking about to spoil because anything. But I have one complaint with NXT UK.
Hang on. Just for anybody who hasn't watched, spoiler alert.
Yeah, we're going to be spoiling it. My only complaint with NXT UK, everyone.
Dude, I have heard that. I saw it. Well, you said that. Andy said that. My friends have been saying that. Deppin said that. No one stands out. Only a few guys actually stand out. They all got the beards. Their sides shaved at their heads.
They all have the hipster haircut with the beard.
They all wear like the same trunks and shit too.
Yeah,
no one stands out.
The ring gear is almost identical.
Yeah.
The move sets are all very identical.
That's UK style, British strong style. Everyone does it. It's not like a thing. It's not cool anymore. It was cool like.
Yeah. So that was my only complaint. My pros. Just watching UK NXT UK, the venue is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
The balcony seating, the big cathedral roof.
That's the way those pay-per-views need to be.
It looks
small.
Yeah, and the crowd. I know some people. I was listening to Busted Open and a few other different things. They hate the crowd because they don't like that they're singing and they're doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was brought to their attention too that that's their culture. That's the way they celebrate. That's the way they get into it. So they chant, they sing, they do
soccer.
stuff.
I love the fact that they take their shoes off, hike them in the air, and sing "Shoes Off" if you hate Gibson. Yeah. I love that. I love it.
They literally take their soccer chants and then improve them. They change them for wrestling.
Right.
Is what they're doing. So you might think they're just singing bullshit, but they are probably singing something about somebody who's in the ring.
Right.
Dude, I was at Progress shows the last 2 years,
and
even though they're in the States, it's probably 30% UK fans come over to see Progress Wrestling in the States.
Wow.
And their chants are fucking crazy. They're nonstop. They don't give a shit. Like when Gibson and what the hell's his name? Drake. When they try to talk, even in Progress, they can't get a word out because it's that loud with boos. They legit. They were the first team out for the whole show. It was last year in New Orleans, and they stood in the ring for a good 5 to 8 minutes. Every time they went to talk, just boo. You couldn't hear anything but boos. They couldn't, even if they talked, you couldn't hear it. And it was crazy. And then they wrestled Mustache Mountain, and
you mean Beard Mountain?
Yeah.
There's not one. I mean, they may touch the part of their beard that's considered the mustache.
Trent Seven has the best mustache.
They're full beards.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is
what it is.
It's stupid. They need to do something. Someone's got to shave their
mustache.
Beard. Yeah.
Speaking of them, mad props to them for the British Bulldog outfits.
Mm-hmm.
The tights that matched.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
that's one way to try to stand out a little bit.
Yeah. every pay per view, I think it's cool if you bust out some cool ring gear. I may be the only one to probably say it, but Dynamite Kid, from everything I've ever read or heard, he was a prick. so fuck him.
No. How much of NXT UK have you watched? Honestly.
So I watched. So here's what happened first. So we watched. So the picture I sent you guys in the group chat, and I said, "Oh, here's the only team without a mustache." It was that tag team. So what happened was his dad actually put on a UK TV show, and then it ended with something that said, "And get ready for Takeover." And I was like, "You didn't put the pay-per-view on." And he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "We just watched a half-hour TV show." So that set us back, and then we were flipping back and forth between the pay-per-view and the Eagles game. And then we went to the pay-per-view, and then everyone, like Heidi was exhausted, so she started passing out. He was passing out, so I was like, I'm just gonna head out. So I think I finished the Finn Balor match, and maybe the match after. It was like a hardcore match with this really, really like chubby, athletic guy.
Dave Mastiff.
Dave Mastiff.
He was cool.
Eddie Dennis. That match was
Dennis
great.
is awesome. I love
That
Dennis.
match was great.
That was a good match.
He's one guy that stands out then too.
The
He's just really lanky, and he wears awkward ring gear.
So that whole pay-per-view, who stood out to me the most out of watching everything?
Tony Storm.
Besides the Mastiff guy, because I didn't get to see her, but besides the Mastiff guy who was huge, actually she looks exactly like Tyler. Well, not Tyler
Pete
Bates.
Dunne.
Pete Dunne. She looks like a female Pete
Who?
Dunne. That
Ripley.
the girl, yeah.
Yeah.
They-
I actually said that when I was watching.
Yeah, they're like brother and sister. So Mastiff stood out to me, and the guy who's like Middle Eastern, who's like dances and has a good time, because they're the only two people that had gimmicks, and the other ones that were different than everybody else.
Yeah, was he on the show, or he was on? He's on the brand. I forget his name.
Yeah, they're the only two guys on that brand that stick out to me. Everybody else looks exactly the same.
Flash Morgan Webster on the show.
Flash Morgan
He was on the
Webster not
pre-show.
on the show.
They taped an episode of NXT UK beforehand. He was on the show that aired yesterday.
Okay.
Gotcha, because he's a decent gimmick. He's like a backyard wrestler,
The
but
mod father.
as UK as possible.
Oh, real quick, everybody. We got a cool person in the chat right now. Mr. Vox is here right now.
Hey,
So what's
up,
going
boss
on?
man?
What's going on, man? If everyone doesn't know, Ryan Vox here is the commissioner of Outbreak Wrestling, which we are huge fans of here on the show. And we have a lot of the guys that we talk to. So Ryan, thank you so much for joining the chat and talking to us. But he agreed. They look exactly like siblings. If they ever do a gimmick where they like are lovers, I'll be creeped out by it.
But regardless how much I look like, Pete Dunne is master of his craft right now.
Yes, Pete Dunne's
He's
amazing.
top 5.
He's phenomenal.
I mean, for almost an hour match with him and Joe Coffey, I mean, I was thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that one yet. I do like Pete Dunne a lot.
And the fact that he held the belt now for, is it 600 some days?
Almost 700.
Almost 700 some days. That's insane.
Yeah, let's just hope they actually give credit to that.
I would not mind if he was a surprise appearance in the Rumble.
He will be. I would almost guarantee he will be in the
He
Rumble.
should be. I thought for sure last year they would do it. Like, get that brand over a little bit. Because
That match.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, they had the first UK tournament, they had the title, and then they act like it hasn't, like they don't have it anymore until they launched UK brand.
Yeah,
Like, it was on one NXT pay-per-view. That
Yeah.
was it, and then Dunn was just in the
He was in the mix.
War Games. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that was that. But they really haven't done anything until they launched the brand. And that was,
how many? Kind of jumping ahead a little bit here. How many guys do you think will be in the Andre Battle Royal and be in the Royal Rumble?
7.
You think 7?
Basically, if you're in the Rumble, you probably have a legit match at Mania, pretty much. And if you're in the Andre, that means they had nothing for you almost all year.
Right.
Or unless you get shafted at the very end, like Dolph did last year.
Yeah.
Because it programs all year, gets tossed in the Rumble.
Or Zack Ryder
Corbin,
one match
Zack
all
Ryder.
last year on New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Name.
Bray Wyatt, Matt Hardy, all got tossed. Well, I don't think. Yeah, actually, Bray was in it last year. He made an appearance in it.
Yeah.
So we had some guys. You have Revival. You have that are reported. You have what's his Maurice? I don't know what's their names. The guy
Kanellis,
Maria Kanellis and Mike
Mike
Bennett.
Maria.
Yep, they're on the list, and Dolph Ziggler
Dolph.
are all on the list of they won out.
See, with Dolph, though, his contract apparently ends at the end of the month, and he's 38 right now. He did everything he could possibly do. He's basically a Grand Slam champion, but they don't count his world title reign as a Grand Slam.
Which is stupid.
Yeah, I know. So he's a triple crown, but
He's a Grand Slam to me. I give him the credit.
He earned it. It is
he
what
did
it is.
everything he possibly could there. He's 38. He has other shit he wants to do. If he wants to leave, I mean, go ahead.
What does the
leave.
Miz need to be a Grand Slam at this point?
I think he's got it all. If you consider what the titles are right
Yeah.
now, he's
Does
got
does
it.
he need the tag team?
No, he
No.
has a tag. Yeah, I think he is a Grand Slam.
He was the tag team champion with John
The
Morrison.
Miz and the
Oh.
Miz show.
Yeah.
Miz Show, Show Miz,
Yeah, there we
that's
go.
what I. That's
Sandow.
at that
Sandow.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
forgot
is. He
about
is.
Miz Dow.
Do you
Sorry.
think?
Mizdow.
Do you think they beat the bar?
Yes.
I think they
I can
do,
see it.
and they're tag champions going in, and then something happens. They'll
They
either
lose.
be champions at the time of Mania, or something happens beforehand, and we unfortunately get a Shane versus Miz match.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I hope not.
Like Shane just needs to go away.
Miz
He can be involved, just don't have a match. You don't
Yeah.
need to take another spot away from a guy in the roster.
I agree.
Mhm.
But Royal Rumble. Give me 5 guys that obviously aren't announced yet, but you think that maybe showing up at the Rumble.
Now, hang on. I want to make a gentleman's bet with all of you guys.
Okay.
We'll address this again in 2 weeks when we're back the week
Mhm.
before the Rumble.
Sure.
Gentleman's bet. That includes you, Austin, if you're listening.
All righty, I am.
Gentlemen's bet, $1 each on each Rumble. Everybody.
Okay.
How many debuts? How many returns? How many legends? And a tiebreaker who wins.
Okay.
Ooh.
So pick your numbers carefully.
I'm going 1-1-1 across the board because you don't want to overdo it.
Yeah.
So I'm going 1-1-1, and
Who wins both Rumbles?
oh, Shiza, this is tough. I think Becky loses against Asuka, and then she enters the Rumble and wins the Rumble, and then she goes on and she wrestles Ronda.
Okay.
I think now who wins the men's because this is tough. I don't think
One thing I want you to
Orton's not gonna
consider
do it.
is that Braun Strowman is cleared for Royal Rumble.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh wow.
I just don't know.
I don't think
No,
they waste.
I
I don't
don't-
think they waste that spot on him.
No, I'm just going with the obvious and probably Seth.
Seth wins.
Yeah.
That's a safe bet, Seth.
I'm trying to think of a wild card here.
I have a really good wild card for the women's, and I think I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna say Ember Moon wins and then challenges Asuka.
That's what I had too. I had Ember Moon win in the women's.
That'd be pretty
Okay.
cool,
Yeah. Now for who I think shows up, I have 2 guys. I have 3 guys who I think show up in the Royal Rumble. I think they bring Kevin Owens back in the Rumble.
Okay.
I think they bring Sammy back in the Rumble,
Mhm.
and I think they bring back because he's been cleared, but he hasn't been on TV. I think they bring back Bray Wyatt at the Rumble.
Okay. Wild card. I'm going with Joe.
Joe win?
Joe versus Brian at Mania. It'll be nasty. And then
That's
somehow,
going back to the
if,
ROH days.
if they can incorporate AJ in it, maybe. And
I'm
there-
still holding out for
there's a-
AJ
there's a sick
Omega.
triple threat. Yeah, if Kenny doesn't join, Kenny versus AJ.
How about
if he
an
does join.
AJ
But AJ
Omega Seth Rollins triple threat match at WrestleMania?
That'll never happen. As
How
amazing as that would
crazy
sound,
would
that
that
would
be?
never happen.
How crazy would
It
that
wouldn't
be?
I wouldn't think it would be necessarily far fetched because again, like we were talking about all these new
Scenarios.
new scenarios, new federations that are, trying to gain people. Like WWE has to get their shit together and basically really try and stack the deck and
I mean,
make themselves impressive.
So
again.
WWE, I will give credit. WWE has been using a lot more of their talent more on television. So
Mhm.
they've been doing that.
Mhm.
They've already shown that Heavy Machinery is going to be hilarious.
How awesome is Dozy?
Yeah, Dozy's.
Heavy Machinery's debuted in a dark match against the Clones.
Yeah.
So that's a gimme.
The clones are still there.
Lacey Evans lost her debut match in a dark match. And Ethan Carter III became the 800th guy in the last 2 years to beat Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah.
Kurt Hawkins is literally the 1%
Another tag team coming back very soon that left on a very, very hot note, who could possibly be the ones to beat. Maybe somehow they find a way to slide in and they end this stupid thing between the Miz and Shane. The Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah,
I love
I
the
said that
Bludgeon
earlier. They are
Oh.
cleared. They are ready to go. They will be back on SmackDown next Tuesday.
Yeah,
Maybe
so-
they don't. Maybe Shane and Miz don't actually fight each other. Maybe they have a legit.
Maybe that's
tag
their
team
war
match.
right there.
That's their war against the Bludgeons.
Yeah.
'Cause they did lose the titles, right? They didn't vacate them.
They lost them
They
to New
lost
Day.
them.
To the
Okay,
New
yeah.
Day.
They technically vacated
Yeah,
the
'cause
titles.
Naomi was hurt.
Both of them needed surgery, so they just kind of
Where does Heavy Machinery go? SmackDown or Raw?
I think they're going to Raw.
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 Yeah, Raw's tag
You wanna-
division is the shits.
Mhm.
I have a really good prediction for Heavy Machinery. So my buddy Ben and I were talking about Dozy before this podcast podcast actually, and we came up with a really genius fantasy booking for Dozy, and that he wins the Royal Rumble and then goes on to challenge Daniel Bryan. And you do steaks and weights versus vegan. You do a steak on a pole match.
That's so cool.
Book it.
Yes.
How about the segment with Becky coming in and drinking the milkshake?
Yeah.
Oh.
and the best part about the whole segment is they're all sitting there talking, and Xavier Woods is there, and he has his jacket zipped up. And as soon as Becky comes in, he looks at her, and he quick unzips his jacket. It's the man shirt. And he's like, just the small. I love the small things. I love the small things.
Yeah, take some time to mull over my questions to you. We'll come back in 2 weeks.
Put that in the chat, and I'll definitely mull that over.
We'll come back in 2 weeks when we're here right before the Rumble.
Where's Rumble at again?
Arizona. My theory for that, though, I'd love to see this being in a baseball field. I'd love to see them come down the stairs from the bullpen and run out of the bullpen to the ring. That would be great.
I'll come out of the dugout.
One or the other. That'd be great.
Yeah, come out of a dugout would be cool.
That would be
they'll
cool.
probably have a ramp that's like a mile long.
Yeah. Usually,
I just thought of a really
Rumble
good feel-good return that could happen. I don't know if he's cleared or not, but even if he isn't and he just kind of was in, maybe got thrown out early, Jason Jordan.
Okay.
Just because it
doesn't make me feel good at all. I'm not gonna lie.
He's been out like a year now.
It's been almost a year. Yeah, there hasn't even been like a peep of him being cleared.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That's a tough sell for me.
I would like to see some of the guys from 205 in the Rumble then too, maybe.
I think you'll see.
How about Mustafa Ali getting a huge?
I think
huge year.
The fact that he's actually in the Rumble, I think they're gonna put Cedric in it, and then since they had a whole feud like last year, there'll be a nice little show off between those two, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Hideo Itami.
What's Kofi's
spot? What did he not do yet?
What's his spot this year?
What has put us on the spot here?
There has to be something on the outside. Maybe they ride like a scooter to the ring or something, and he jumps on the scooter. I don't know. He did something weird. I think last year was pancakes.
Yeah, they caught him on the pancake tray or something, and they put him back in.
What if he steps on baseball mounds, like the plates? He steps on
I can see that.
plates. I don't know. I'm interested. I mean, that's a cool thing every year with the Royal Rumble. I mean, you have these cool spots that they do.
Yeah, like what can we make Kofi do? Because like the first two, I feel were probably just by fluke. Like they did it and then they didn't think it would catch on. Yeah. And now we gotta do something every year.
Yeah.
So you're like the most consistent guy on the roster the last 10 years.
It'll never ever happen, but I want that. That man deserves a Grand Slam. Just give him his world champion.
Well, Woods said before Kofi retires that he will get Kofi a world championship.
Who said that?
Woods did.
Did he?
Xavier told he's like, this guy has to, before he retires.
He's been he's probably been such a locker room leader. He's been just been good on TV. Mm-hmm. He's been a knockout. Like he's been doing phenomenal. So the only thing I'm hoping with the Rumble is I kind of like the Ember Moon only because everyone and their brother thinks that Becky Lynch is winning the Women's Royal Rumble. And yes, Becky has the year this year, but she doesn't need it to be over. She doesn't. She doesn't need a title. She doesn't need a strap. She can literally still be the man and still be a Stone Cold where she comes out and just bodies everybody. And she doesn't need it right away. She doesn't need that main event. Like she can have a WrestleMania match and not even be involved in that. And the men's, everyone's calling for Rollins because Rollins are some type of AJ or something like that. But they've been in the title hunt so long now and had a belt all around their waist. I think the Rumble's a time for someone else to step in and do it. Like
that's why I think Joe.
Yeah,
Joe has been.
But Joe's been he's been in title defenses for the past year.
I know, but I mean, like, who else would you push to the top just for like mid card?
Elias. Elias wins the Rumble.
Yeah, but Elias versus Brock, like Elias versus Fowler.
Elias versus. I mean, here's another thing too. I think after this year, I don't think we're having a brand split. It's not going to be a brand split anymore.
I heard that. Oh, I read
Fox does not want the brand split. They're not paying for the brand split.
I heard that they are though because they don't want to advertise guys on both shows.
Okay.
They don't want to advertise. Let's just say Brock's on USA. They don't want to advertise him, but they do want Ronda. They want Ronda, and they did want Reigns, and apparently they want Cena. So I mean.
I mean, you can shit in one hand and wish in the other, but it's at the end of the day, you're paying for a show. You're not paying for the artist. You're not paying. Your Fox doesn't have creative control, correct?
Correct.
I don't know.
Not yet.
They're
Not
not yet.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
they're paying enough money for it, so they could.
Like I said in our last podcast, when Vince sold his share of the stakes, I think it was Fox who bought those stakes, trying to weasel their way underneath that creative door there and be like, hey, that's ours. We want that.
Yeah, it's possible. It's going to be interesting. I mean, since my lifetime, I've watched WCW, I've watched TNA, I've watched all these major companies come in and try to dethrone them. And no matter how many people outside say, New Japan and Ring of Honor is close, they're not. It's just realistically, no matter what they're doing, they're not close.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
But it's to the point now where, I mean, I still support main roster. I still love WWE, but they need to step it up. And that's it's blatant.
Yeah.
It's blatant. And if they're not careful, they made a monster out of Cody Rhodes. This kid has been a second generation superstar. He's been in the business since he's born. He understands how it works. His dad was one of the best promoters and bookers. Like he understands things, and they made a monster out of him by saying he wasn't good enough. And now you literally did that to your entire roster for 10 years or longer, saying you're not good enough, like Ziggler's and everybody else, and bombing these people. And now you have this feel-good corporation that's got some steam, and your superstars are going to go there.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, and if they get a TV deal,
Well,
they can be serious contenders.
did you read the latest news now? Apparently, if you get offered a contract from AEW, if you bring proof of it, Vince will double what they offered you for you to stay. I read that on Facebook, like I think when me and Ben were out the keg.
So
wow.
who's gonna pull the Scott Hall and Kevin Nash? And
That's what I'm wondering, because I think that they're gonna lock down their top 25 guys. I don't see Balor going anywhere. Rollins, obviously Reigns.
I don't think Shinsuke goes anywhere either.
Shinsuke's probably gonna stay. On the bar is gonna stay. Like any of your top guys, your current champions, they're mostly all gonna stay.
Yes.
They're gonna lock all those guys in.
Ziggler's gone.
Guys on the bottom, like
If they need the money bad enough, they're gonna stay. If they don't need the money, chances are, like he's saying, they're see ya.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
It's interesting. It's
But you know
interesting how
what?
it plays
I
out.
wouldn't doubt, I was talking before, if you're trying to leave now after they announced this brand new federation, if you're trying to leave now, especially Mike Bennett, we took care of you, we signed you, and it turns out you're a pill addict and you got your wife pregnant. You're off TV for almost a year. We bring you back and now you want to leave? We took care of you. We paid for your freaking rehab.
Yeah.
I would freeze his contract, let him sit until it runs out, because you're not getting any steam off of us.
Yeah.
We took care of you and now you want to leave because you don't think you're being used appropriately. You're bland anyway.
Yeah.
You're a bland wrestler.
You're on 205 Live where you belong until you prove yourself that you should be on the main roster.
And he didn't do anything. He had 2 matches on 205 Live in 2 months. He did 1 run-in, and that was it. His wife is obviously way more over than he is. And you're trying to leave. You were only over in ROH really because Adam Cole. You were in the Kingdom with Adam Cole. Adam Cole left. You left. You went to Impact, flopped.
I wouldn't say flop. They just didn't book him correctly.
Well, Impact doesn't really book anybody correctly, but still, he didn't really do anything.
Mhm.
So it's considered a flop. But again, your wife is more over than you are. That's why when they signed him, they gave him his wife's last name. So
Yeah. So let's dive in a little bit to this week's Raw. So I couldn't watch it live. What was I doing Monday that held me up? Oh, Monday I was in Harrisburg, which was a cool time. I went and got to meet some cool local artists. I was helping out to promote a venue for a local promotion coming up, which was so much fun. I met so many cool people. So I didn't get to watch Raw. So I watched it, unfortunately, on Hulu, where they cut 90% of the show out. So I missed some stuff. So I heard there was a tag team match I missed between Riot Squad and a triple threat match between Riot Squad, Bailey, Natalia, and
Nikki
Cross, which I'm bummed I missed that.
I didn't really watch. I had it on, but I didn't watch that part too much.
Yeah.
I kind of watched at Marley's, the one bar I go to trivia at. And
Yeah.
I saw her running around wild like Ultimate Warrior when she debuted. She's whipping
Yeah,
the
she's
ropes
crazy.
and all
She's
stuff.
like a female Mankind, I would say.
And that baffles me because she was a part of Sanity, and they brought her to Raw when her stable was on SmackDown.
Well, if actually on commentary they said they're showing people on both shows before they get signed to one exclusive brand.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I heard her music, I'm like, why? Like, she's a part of Sanity. Why is she on Raw?
What is she, Sister Abigail?
She has the same music. She's the same everything. And
Yeah.
like, no, we'll put her on Raw probably. That's just your dumbass freaking main roster freaking writer.
The only thing I'm bummed about is one women's tag team belt.
Yeah, there'd be floaters probably only defended on like pay-per-views.
That's kind of the way the WWE Championship was there for a little bit until they got the second title belt.
Mhm,
The champion was floating to both shows.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that because then you have the belt pretty much only infused in one show until a pay-per-view. I don't know. Maybe it's a way to spice things up, and I'm just looking at the wrong way.
I think it's a good idea in the long run.
love the fact that we're gonna crown the champions in an elimination chamber tag team match.
And a match.
wow.
I know, but there are no tags.
There's no tags. It's one.
So it's a tornado tag.
Yeah, so
Whoa.
you're having tag team
Oh,
champions.
now I'm
We
psyched
struck
to
with
see
the
that.
irons hot.
In a match,
Wow.
there's no tags. But yo, those belts are like beautiful.
I don't like the fact that it says on that. Like, it's like this is a tag team belt. Like I don't know.
I mean, if we're talking about tag team belts, the NXT UK tag team belts are some of the best looking belts I've seen in a while.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Yeah.
I can't believe that it took Triple H this long to get a good looking belt, and
Who
the Raw and SmackDown tag
Yeah,
team
those
titles
are
actually
wins?
trash.
Who wins the women's tag team titles?
Who's in the match?
Dude, we don't know yet.
We don't know
You can
yet.
almost pick it. You can almost.
Who would your pick be?
It's going to come down to Sasha and Bailey as the faces.
Which I hate. I hate
Or-
the fact that an actual tag team's not
And
going
I
to
wanna
win.
say-
Tamina and Nia.
Yeah.
I can even see Mandy
Oh,
Rose and
Sonya.
Sonya Deville.
I would
Being the
not
heel.
doubt. I would not doubt if Mania match. It's going to be Tamina and
Nia.
Nia as your champions versus
hate that.
Trish and Lita.
I would hate that so
And
much.
they'll put everyone else in the freaking battle royal. They
I
still have
want-
a women's battle royal. I don't know if they're doing that.
If you're gonna put tag team titles out and you're gonna do it, I think your best stable is the Riot Squad
That would make most sense.
or
Sasha and Bailey.
I'd go Iconics.
Yeah, the Iconics are who I was gonna say.
Yeah.
The only
And,
thing
like,
with the Iconics is they job out time after time. When was the last time they won a
Yeah.
match?
So you know who else was a jobber who beat Asuka and Charlotte and had one of my favorite title runs? Carmella.
I know she had a lot of steam behind her though. Like she had the briefcase, so that pushed her.
But I do believe the last time we were here when we were talking about that title match, I believe I did pick Asuka to win that match.
Yeah, that was a great ladder match, and I think that was the best way to go about it, is having her win. But it's just so tough. Her promos, you have no idea what she's
she
saying.
just screams, then she ends with "No one's ready for Asuka."
Yeah, they're tough. They're
Right.
get her a manager.
At least she tries though.
You got to
She
get
does.
Kenny Omega out there and cut a promo in Japanese for her.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Like, hopefully this Brock Lesnar situation mulls over and he
Brock
leaves.
Lesnar just needs to go.
And
Period.
I
agree.
want Paul Heyman to be the manager of Shinsuke Nakamura and Asuka and have like a little Japan team. That'd be some.
That'd be sick. Hit those two, Tommy.
Well, they said that Paul Heyman is working with Ronda Rousey, helping her with her promos and her in-ring timing.
Oh wow.
He's like personally taking her off to the side, and
Regardless of how you feel about her from MMA or how you feel about her as a person, or yes, she's been a terrible loser in real life combat sports. She's killed. She had the best rookie year in wrestling history. Her matches were phenomenal. I thought they were all good. She put people over who you thought were garbage, and she actually had matches that were actually exciting. I think she's been doing amazing.
for a female, she's had one of the best rookie years. If you want to look at males, look at Finn Balor. They pushed him right to the top in 3 months.
Yeah,
And then he
true.
got hurt.
But I'm
Yeah.
looking at for like a year. Like, I mean, she had a good year. Like this year from she debuted.
Royal Rumble
She showed
last
up
year.
at Royal Rumble last year, and by next year Royal Rumble going in and Mania, she's the champ. Like, I just think she
I mean,
had
it's not like anybody didn't see it coming. It was
100%. You can't book her and not put a belt on her.
Well, I thought, guys, like I told you with Ronda Rousey, I thought she was going to get like Brock Lesnar syndrome, and they were just going to make her like this badass chick that was just going to blaze through everybody.
She does with certain opponents.
Yeah.
Not
In a way,
show
yeah.
up.
But, but
She's there every week, though.
no, just like
My
just-
opinion, She should. She just if the way you've been booking her and Charlotte's match was good. You know when she when she was in against Nia had the size. She went against Alexa Bliss and she smushed her. Which realistically, she should smush her. She should smush Sasha Banks. She's not believable to me. Like there's nothing of Sasha Banks literally gets destroyed for 45 minutes, has 3 roll-up pins, and then hits 3 signature moves and wins on a submission.
And
That's a Sasha Banks
falls out.
That's every Sasha Banks match. It's boring to me. She doesn't do it for me at all. And you're going to go out there and make her look like she's a legit competitor against a Ronda Rousey. I don't see it.
But if we're talking about another top rookie year, Pete Dunne.
Oh my God.
Pete Dunne's had one of the best 2-year streaks for a rookie going.
Absolutely. I would agree with that.
But spoiler alert again, because I didn't get to cover this while we were on it. Walter debuted.
Oh, that's
I don't know who that is.
Walter is the very large, very powerful Austrian wrestler who held pretty much every major heavyweight title in Europe all of last year.
He kind of looks like a baby.
Yeah.
He looks like a baby?
He has like a baby.
Remember Vladimir Kozlov?
No. I'll have to look him up then.
Oh, I do.
Just
that's
Google
a very
Walter
good call.
and you'll understand. WALTER.
Trying to think what else happened on Raw that we can talk about here quick. I mean, they did a little stupid segment between Sasha and Ronda, which was horrible. Like
I hated it.
It's spelled Walter.
Either
WALTER.
you're
It's
making
pronounced
Ronda
Walter.
either super face or you're like she's half heel, half face. I don't get it. They need to just pick a side with her already.
Yeah, that one. Go with that one. That's pretty
I'm trying
much
to think what
sums
else
it up.
happened here.
That pretty much sums it up. He's going to be the guy that dethrones Pete Dunne in probably 2 months.
Yeah, they'll probably do some kind of event during the
So
year. I just don't know
the guy
what
who
yet.
says that too many guys have beards, he should grow his beard back.
But he is probably the one that will be Pete Dunne because I 100% believe Pete Dunne needs a little bit of time off after pushing this hard.
Give Pete Dunne some time off and then make him either a full-time NXT star in America
He won't do it.
or put him on main roster.
He's kind of in the same boat Walter is. Walter did not want to come to the U.S. He does not like the U.S. He doesn't like anything that happens over there. He doesn't like the scheduling. As soon as they unveiled NXT UK, he turned around and called Triple H back and was like, I'll sign, but I'm staying here.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving Europe.
Yeah, Pete Dunne also has a kid now.
Yeah.
That's also some key time off right there.
Yeah, he deserves it. But I mean, if you want to talk about having a kid and still pushing, you got your boy The Miz who's stuck in a stupid.
Took off a week.
Yeah, it took
1
off-
week.
Yeah, he took more time off for a movie than he did the birth of his own kid.
Right.
But yeah, that guy deserves everything he gets. I just hope it works for him. SmackDown. I mean, SmackDown was cool. The Rey Mysterio match was good. I thought the Mustafa Ali was a waste because he just got beat up by Joe. There wasn't even a match. I was actually looking forward to
He
that.
sold that so well, though. Like the
Yeah.
ending he took, he made it look so brutal, and hopefully that's
I haven't
that's a good
seen-
storyline going forward.
I haven't seen a guy under 200 pounds get lawn darted that hard in my life before.
Did you ever see when Spike Dudley got lawn darted by Bam Bam Bigelow into the fourth row of the crowd at ECW?
I'm going to have to look that up.
Bam Bam Bigelow picks Spike Dudley up in a Luthes press and runs to the ropes and throws him into the crowd.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he almost killed people.
But, that Ray Andrade match, that's already a contender for match of the year.
And how lame is it that they dropped his full name?
Yeah, that is
Just Andrade.
It's just Andrade is going to be just at AEW in 3 months when his contract runs out.
Yeah.
I disagree with that because his name prior to coming to WWE was La Sombra. It's a much shorter and easier name for a luchador, and I wouldn't even surprise me if that was his own decision, or like if he was okay with that happening.
Mhm. I mean, I can see that because they shorten everyone's name, like Rusev, Cesaro,
Big E.
Big
What do you
E.
think about face Rusev?
It's okay.
I'm just happy he
don't
finally had
mind
the title again, but
You're like the biggest Rusev Day
I
fan here.
love Rusev. I just don't know how I feel about face Rusev.
Face Rusev, I mean, Rusev Day USA, I mean, it's getting over.
But here's the thing. The problem with the faces now, if you're a face, you become a punk. And I don't like that. Like, he's just getting smashed. Like, you're literally booking a guy who had an undefeated season, and the first time he lost was John Cena. And
At
now,
WrestleMania.
and now at WrestleMania, and now he's a champion again, and he's getting knocked out cold by Shinsuke Nakamura. Like, He should be. I love Shinsuke, but Rusev should be smashing Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
And
Speaking of,
Lana's supposedly pregnant.
we'll see.
Yeah.
That's still not confirmed, but
Oh my God, she
But
ruined
speaking
that.
of
She ruined that
punks,
temple.
speaking of punks, I got to go back to your boy, Enzo. What is he doing?
What did he do now?
He showed up at the Christmas shows at Madison Square Garden
Yeah.
and
He's
pretty
got
much made a
autographs
fool of
and
himself outside the arena all night, and then said, I'm paraphrasing here to an extent, I don't care. I showed up. It's me. I'm going to do what I want. But at the end of the day, and this is his quote, Vince will respect the expletive shit out of me.
He's trying to grab that brass ring.
Yeah. It's a little too late for that, buddy.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though.
He's shown up at Survivor Series and
yeah.
got tossed out. And now they wouldn't even let him into Madison Square Garden because they knew it was him. They told him do not let him in. So he tried to buy a ticket, did not let him in, and then proceeded to incite a small riot outside the arena to the point where they asked him to leave.
I think he'll get signed again.
I do too. I do too.
Because his exact quote was Vince will
Ambition.
respect the effing shit out of it.
Yeah.
Thinking Vince is gonna like
The
okay.
dude was like
regardless of
wrongfully fired, regardless of his
yes,
ring,
that's
his ring
exactly.
skills.
He was wrongfully fired.
Yeah. So I mean, if he's gonna sign there, he'll get signed somewhere. He tries to act like he's above wrestling, which if he was smart, he would take every indie booking that he was offered. Instead, he's like, "No, you can't afford me. Like, your rap career fucking sucks."
And
Yeah.
that's where Simon Grimm, when he cut his promo, basically called Enzo cancer.
Yeah.
He said Enzo's from New Jersey.
But then again,
what's the one thing that New Jersey has?
But then this is also the same guy who got in multiple fistfights backstage and ruined his push. You think if he expected the business as much as he did, he would just be a good he would just be a good employee and not be an idiot trying to fist fight everybody.
Yeah, you get beat up by Sin Cara.
Yeah. so
Sin Cara's hurt.
Yeah. Enzo is a cancer of the business, and you're back there picking fist fights when your tag team was probably on the biggest push of their career.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that goes. I mean,
right, but he basically said Enzo has no business in the ring. He comes from New Jersey. What's one thing New Jersey's known for? Wrestling schools. Did he go visit one? Not a chance.
Well, no, because he got picked up off the street. Like they trained him to be what they wanted him to be. I mean,
regardless of what you say, he had some of the best promos when he was there.
Exactly.
He was amazing on the mic.
Very over in 5 seconds on the mic.
Oh my God, he was so over. And the only reason people hated him is because other people were like Simon Gotch that cut promos on him after he left because people like cheap heat, and that's kind of what like, yeah, he was not that great in the ring. But I mean, there's some people out there right now that are not great in the ring and they're still getting pushes. But I don't know, it's tough to say.
He's trying to get signed somewhere. He's been posting on Instagram he's been working out nonstop, posting on Instagram about it.
Well, he's been training harder than Cass has been training.
Yeah, obviously.
Jeebus.
Cass is getting fat and having seizures. So
yeah. What happened with that?
He just let himself go. It is what it is.
And
then when he got fired, he just let go.
And then he said in an interview he's been training harder than ever.
Condition.
He was at a House of Hardcore, and he wasn't even wrestling. He wasn't cutting a promo. He was signing autographs, and he literally went to walk away and collapsed and started seizing.
Yep.
Like, that's not a good look.
Nope.
Real quick, we're gonna do a quick segue here, just to break for a second. I know you guys have been staring at our amazing chat we've been having and looking at these beautiful women on the table, and I don't mean the guys over here. This is actually Retro Lovely magazine. So I know you guys have been seeing me promoting a little bit here and there. An interview coming up with a local photographer in the area, Michael Ban. This is his magazines. I'm not even bullshit you when I say this. These are some awesome magazines. Like they're not like your couple page, like a couple page maximums or a couple page this and that. It's literally chock full of exactly what you're looking for. You want to see photography at its finest. You want to see, really good looking girls, tattooed, curvy, the whole nine. This is it, man. And it's cover to cover, exactly what you're paying for. You're not getting smashed in the face with a whole bunch of other stuff that's going on and advertisements. You're getting exactly what you paid for. Picture quality is amazing. Book quality is amazing. They're nice. They're thick. They have good quality to them. I'm a huge fan of them. So when the magazine comes out, when the magazines, when the interview comes out, take a look at Michael's stuff. We're going to hear more about him. He has a lot of other stuff going on, but take a look at him and take a look at his stuff there. You can buy the magazines digitally, or you can get physical ones sent to your house. The website links are on the page, so take a look for those on Facebook, and that will be there as well.
Cheap pop for our tasty beverage on the table.
So we started the show off with the Stone Cold Broken Skull IPA. So we had a little bit of a Stone Cold beer. I have one bottle left. I'm saving for Royal Rumble, because I don't think it'll last much longer if I wait till Rumble Mania. And then we had a Hoof-Hearted Brewing Company.
Hoof-Hearted.
Conky Dong.
It's the quadruple dry hop triple India Pale Ale. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
And it has all of the Donkey Kong namesakes, Conky Dong, Mario in S&M gear, and then there's Billy Mitchell, the cheater of
Conky Dong.
Donkey Kong. Yeah.
Do you want to make a quick announcement here while we're here about the Breaking Beer podcast, about possible venue that we're going to be doing for a
Bangin', you mean Bangin' Beers?
Bangin' Beers podcast.
Potentially.
Well, let Tyler do it here.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I run the Schuylkill County Brew Fest in Frackville at the Frackville Elks. So we're probably going to go live that day, Saturday, May 18th at the Frackville Elks. So
as
long as it doesn't rain.
So, if it does rain, I'll try to work something out where we can go inside the Elks. Basically, we do a whole series of beers where I collab with a bunch of breweries around the state. We make beers just for the festival. People vote on them, and then when they win, if they win, they get a championship belt for a year.
Which is so cool.
So we'll try to hook that up. We can talk to every brewer of everyone that participates, and
I'd love to be a judge for that.
That'll
Just
be
to
that.
this table, you guys.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to do that.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking about doing is, for the most of the day, Tyler will be busy, so he probably won't be able to be on podcast most of the time because he'll be doing his thing. So me and Ben will probably man the table for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll have the nice championship belt will be on display, and we'll have patrons that are in and out. They can come in and sit down and talk to us live and say, hey, I've tried this beer, give a little review on it if they're not super intoxicated. So if you're hammered, I will not have you up here and just be screaming expletives on the mic. It may not be live though. So what we might do with that one is we may film it, and then Nikolai might go around as well and get some cool action shots of stuff going on, and then that'll be our first podcast that'll be edited and chopped up and changed a little bit. And we'll go live in the beginning to get more people there, especially if they didn't buy tickets and they don't think there's any left. We'll have a point where we go live, but we plan on recording for a long time that day and talking to a bunch of people, and then maybe have the brewers come up if they can get away from their table for a second and come talk to us, and then maybe we can announce the winner and all that cool stuff. But I'm really looking forward to that day. That's going to be a blast.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Flat out.
The only request we have is if someone can bring us beers.
And please, for once, let the rain hold.
I know.
Yes, no rain. That was
I
muddy.
highly agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Every year I've been there 3 years, and it just seems like this event cannot catch a break.
Nope.
Yeah.
But
But
the
it's
only
still,
year we did was the first year, and instead of it being not raining, it was like 100 degrees.
it was so hot. Yeah. But every year, I mean,
but there was very nice, cool beverages.
yeah. Either way, if it's rain, if it's shine, I mean, if it rains, we'll probably put our podcast indoors.
This is Schuylkill County. We drink in any weather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but when it comes down to having a good time, you could literally be up to your kneecaps in mud. You will have a good time at Schuylkill County Brew Fest. It's a blast. They have a lot of cool entertainment, a lot of vendors. Even if you're not a drinker, you can pay for a designated driver pass, and they have insane food. I mean, the food there is
I'll sign up
amazing.
for that.
Yeah, it's a good time. So you can come as a DD and just hang out. They have last time I missed last year because I was working, but the year before that they literally had these giant like pieces of bacon,
Oh yeah, Naja bacon out of York, Pennsylvania.
huge pieces of
Bacon
bacon.
on a stick, and they have toppings, and you can put chocolate, caramel, apple, whatever,
Yeah,
vanilla, maple syrup, whatever you want on this bacon, and it's on a stick.
I always
cheap
love-
pop,
It's freaking delicious.
fully cheap pops all around here.
yeah.
Anybody
always
else got
like-
one more?
Also like Epic Pickles. They were actually
Epic
pretty good
Pickles is
too.
banging.
They do pickled cauliflower, and that's the shit. Period. I
It's
love that.
They
It's
have
good
moonshine.
stuff.
That you guys have moonshine. So there is that. There's two. Sometimes there too. When it was there 1 year, but a lot of cool breweries. And another cool news, if you want to talk about breaking beers. Now, once again, too, all these podcasts. So obviously this one you'll see in the description for for Tornado Tag. We all have our group chats, so the group things. So you can always join the groups and join the conversation and hear more news. So if you're into like nerdy stuff and pop culture, join the Things That Weren't Cool in High School show. We have a lot of cool stuff. We put trailers out there, news that's coming out. We'll talk about in the show. 10-8 round, the same thing. Josh Rodzinsky has been working his butt off getting some really cool guests for the 10-8 round. So take a look at that. That has some cool stuff
Kind
coming
of
up.
psyched for that too.
Yeah, and then the Breaking Beers, we put a cool thing out. There's a whole list of all new breweries in. I don't know who runs it, but PA Breweries page on Facebook is done very well.
in PA.
Breweries in PA,
Yeah.
great page. Check them out. They don't even know we exist probably, but I love their page. I share a lot of their stories. But they just put a whole list out of all the breweries coming out in Pennsylvania this year. I don't know them personally. I know you do.
Mhm.
Their beer has, the first year I went to School County Brew Fest, in my opinion, I thought they had the best beer there that day, and it was an exclusive beer that was only to the VIPs. It was called Very Berry IPA.
Mhm.
It was so good. Abomination.
Yep.
And then they made the beer for your daughter.
Oh no, that was Rotunda made the beer for
Yes,
Lux.
that was a good beer too. So
Lux is lit.
Yeah, so my favorite breweries that day was Abomination and Rotunda. I think their art is cool. Their beers were good, and that's not. I think everyone has good beer there, but they were my two favorites. But Abomination is actually getting their own brewery, a full brewery soon. So is that going to be like you can come in and sit down and drink?
Apparently they already have a building in Allentown somewhere.
Okay.
They just need approval from the state, and they've been in distro now for the last couple months. So
Good.
Find their beer around the state. So.
Good. They have great stuff. So we look forward to them. If you're looking for some recommendations or anything, like I said, join the Bangin' Beers group, and we'll definitely get you there. If you're looking for some cool stuff, or maybe if you're looking for trades or anything like that, we're going to try to get those group pages really going and get a lot of cool content there and have people talking. When it comes to wrestling, I don't want to get too much into Rumble or too ahead of ourselves, because we are going to have another show next week on Friday. Yes,
Saturday.
Well, we're going to have a show here Friday, and then the
yes.
pay-per-view is Saturday and Sunday.
The taping is Saturday.
The taping for NXT.
PPW.
Oh, PPW is Saturday.
The Impact taping is coming up.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Forgot
we're
about
talking.
that, didn't
Wait,
you?
they're taping?
Yes, it is a PP. It's the one night only pay-per-views where they do like the quick taping and then they play it like 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
But
in Hazelton.
they finally announced the good bit of the matches, which I have here.
Let's do that.
We will get into that.
Tickets still available for that?
Yes, $15 general admission.
Oh wow.
Second and third rows are sold out. Ringside is available. I'm not sure how much ringside is. I'm not sure if you can get tickets at the door right now. I know you need a PayPal account. PayPal account will get your tickets. If not,
Did you get general admission?
Yes, we did.
All right. If worst comes to worst, before we leave here tonight, get another general admission, and I'll give you the money then.
We'll do.
And then this way, because if I know, here's what's gonna happen. If I don't get them now, and the night of comes, I won't go. But I know if I owe someone money for a ticket, I'll show up. So trap me in that trap.
Yeah.
Because I want to see
It's a
Morrison.
good way
That's
to
the
go
Morrison
about
night,
it.
right?
But as you can see, one night only, new beginnings.
They can't see that at all.
That's not
Yeah. We'll share that on the page too.
Believe it or not, this is not the main event, but this is going to be one of the matches there. It is going to be the Impact champion, Johnny Impact, formerly known as John Morrison,
Sold.
against one guy.
He could be against Ben. I'm going.
Drake, dummy, yeah. And that's going to be just one of the matches. Another match is going to be KM against Deshaun Pratt, one of the PPW originals. That should be a good match. Deshaun Pratt's more of a high flyer. KM, big, strong guy. This is the match I'm most looking forward to. Eddie Edwards versus Moose in a South Philly street fight.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm sold there.
Wow. I think
It
I
is
might go
okay.
too. I might go with you.
All right.
And now I'm not sure if anybody has followed up with the new acquisitions to Impact, but you're going to have the PPW champion, Christina Marie, taking on Scarlett Bordeaux.
Oh,
She's gorgeous.
Scarlett Bordeaux. How you doing?
Like, ooh.
How you doing? Yo, it looks like she's wearing Wonder Woman gear.
It does, yeah.
I like
It
that.
does.
The nerd in me likes that a lot. So, here's a cool thing here. You want to talk about Outbreak real quick, and I know they don't have a show coming up for a while, but
February 8th, I believe.
they booked a match for that pay-per-view with a guy who just made some recent headlines in all the indie scenes. So there's a really cool page too. Tyler will probably correct me because I'm probably going to botch it, but it's Independent Pro or whatever. It's a page on Facebook. It just pretty much showcases all independent wrestling. I think I got it through you.
Maybe.
But they actually they showcased something. His name is Ace
Austin.
Ace Austin.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Andy,
Jumped
Andy
off.
brought that up.
Yeah,
Andy
Now
brought that up
I
on
sent
our
you the
interview.
video of what he did at True Wrestling in the
Yes.
gym.
Andy said he was the match right before
Yeah.
that.
He shimmied up the back of the backboard in the gym at Berwick High School, got down on the rim and hit a across bodies across the crowd into the ring.
Yeah.
He jumped about 10 feet.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and he
I
had
saw
no
that
prep.
too.
Like it was all leg. It was all leg string.
And if you guys don't remember, Ace was actually on 205 Live. Probably
He
back
jobbed out
in
on 205 Live.
November.
He jobbed out on 205 Live to the Lucha House Party.
Tag team match, and he didn't tag out once.
Yeah,
was still
he
good
got beat for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But then
Oh.
he was also on Impact on some of their lesser known, kind of like the one night only shows, and picked up several key wins. But he also had several big beats. He lost to OVE.
So he will be at Outbreak Wrestling, which is really, really cool because that dude is a phenom. So that Outbreak card is shaping up to be something nice. The only thing that fell out so far is one match, right? Ed House versus Grimm.
versus Mr. Grimm. Something came up. Mr. Grimm cannot make it. Ed House is supposed to be making a statement here in the next few days. Mr. Vox, if you can comment in there, let us know what's going on there. But as of right now, Ed House does not have a match.
Interesting.
I always liked Mr. Grimm when he
When he hit that suicide dive in that ladder match,
that was
did not see that
nuts.
coming at all.
We were impressed when we were watching.
I looked. I'm like, holy shit.
But before we get a little too far sidetracked here, let's get back to one night only. We have the brand new Impact X Division champion, Rich Swann, 205 Live, against Sami Callihan, the Death Machine.
Okay.
Which I think that could be one of the matches of the night. Then we have the Punk Rock All-Stars, the former PPW Tag Team Champions, against Noah and Victor Andrews. Just a quiet little match there. Then we have the Arrogance of Excellence, which is two guys in Andy's stable up there, against South Philly's Finest, the new Tag Team Champions in PPW. And then we move into the main event
Tony Storm.
with Tony Storm versus Samuel Adams.
No.
Versus the Tony, not
No,
different
not the
Tony
girl.
Storm.
No, not
I
the
don't
girl.
care now.
Not Tone I.
Against
No, like I'm
the
looking
Green
I'm like,
Machine,
no,
Mike
Tony,
Orlando
no.
versus
I
Hybrid
almost
Sean
stole
Carr
his
was the
phone.
champion. Cody Vance and Casey Navarro.
Cody Vance has been popping up everywhere.
Yes.
lately.
And is that showing Hazelton too,
Vox,
Dave?
while we have you in the chat here, do you have can you give us maybe a peek or a hint of possible 'cause I know you guys try to get a legend in every now and then. Can you give us one that you may be working on or a little teaser for the show? Can you give us a little love?
We have Cortez Castro again.
Well, I mean, he's been part of the whole
He's been there since the beginning.
and he's been phenomenal. He did great work at Lucha Underground, and he's part of Outbreak. If I had a request, they're not like obviously like old school legends, but I know you probably, and I don't know if you do the social media page for Outbreak or who runs it, but on Instagram, a very, very one of my favorite tag teams, and I used to love when they would go against Motley 2 and everybody, but the brother Rednecks. What's his name is cleared.
Extreme Rednecks.
The Extreme Rednecks.
Oh, yeah.
What's his
Chuck
name's
and
been
Kyle
cleared
Payne.
again. He's Chuck and Kyle Payne are cleared to go again, and they're looking for bookings. So I know I put on the social media thing. I was like, get them back because they were cool. Okay, honestly, like that's a cool thing I like about Outbreak, where you just kind of work with your guys. Yes, Extreme Rednecks will be back soon. Perfect. I love that. I love that news too.
Right.
And that's a cool thing that I do like when a legend shows up every now and then. I am a sucker for that. But I do like that Outbreak is like, here's our guys and we're working with our guys. So I do like that as well. So it's a 50-50. But yeah, you guys do a great job there at Outbreak, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. And the cool thing you guys are doing soon with the web series that you're working on, I think that's a great idea too. So really, really looking forward to that.
One thing though, I have to mention, Vox. I'm going to get to this. The venue for Outbreak's next has changed.
Yes.
We are now at the Birdsboro Community Memorial Center in Birdsboro, Pennsylvania. I don't know what happened with the firehouse. I'm not going to ask questions. Stuff happens. But we will be in Birdsboro come February 8th.
Okay. When tickets are on sale for that yet or not yet?
February 9th. I'm sorry, February 9th.
February 9th.
Tickets are always on sale. Pretty much with Outbreak, we don't have a bad seat in the house. You could show up day of the show, pick up a seat, and chances are you can get a ringside seat for $25.
Yeah. So here's what
pricing.
I'm thinking that we can do, and if you guys aren't with it, then I'll foot the bill. But I think if all of us chip in and pick up 2 tickets extra, and we can raffle them here on the show,
We can do that.
and whoever wants to go. And if you can't make it, like say if you want to go really bad, but maybe you can't drive or whatever situation you may have, you can catch a ride with us. We'll pay for your tickets. We'll give them away here on the show, and we'll take you to the show. So that's something me and Andy were kind of talking about that last night. And another cool thing, if you want to get an Outbreak a little more, he's not here with us tonight. He's at Shadow Maple.
Lucky.
Shady Maple.
Yeah.
But Andy's interview goes live tomorrow at 12 p.m. So champion of Outbreak Wrestling, Andy Header. Very, very cool dude. It was an interesting interview. I'll give you a little sneak peek. The guy is just as zen as you thought he was. Like nothing bothers him. He's never had not like say he's never had an experience, but he never had an experience enough that bothered him and that like changed his life. You know what I mean? Like that guy can probably live through a hurricane and be like, cool, just rebuild my house. Like he's just so zen.
Yeah.
Like he's just a cool dude. So his interview is actually going to go live tomorrow at 12 p.m. It will be available on all audio streams, so you can check us out: Spotify, Podbean, all podcast material places, iTunes, and then the full video.
That's a very fun interview, by the way, too.
Yeah, very fun. We literally the interview just went like he told us a little bit of his childhood and what he's into. And we talked about what he likes when it comes to wrestling and video games and stuff like that.
Spoiler alert, 2.5 hours almost.
Yeah,
that's how good it was.
It went long, but it was
fun. It was
so
fun.
Check that interview out. And we're probably gonna wrap this up here. Does anyone have anything else they want to throw out?
Just Andy's probably going to be in the biggest Outbreak Championship match
It's gonna be
current history's date. 2 out of 3 falls against the prettiest pitbull in the yard, Dame Smith.
Yes, very cool, very good match. Very 2 talented superstars. Following Dame on social media, the guy wants it. He's working hard for it. He wants that strap. He's been putting the time in the gym.
I swear to God, every morning when I wake up, and this is nothing against Dame, but if I wake up and see him with his shirt off one more time, I don't know what I'm going to
do. His shirt off, and he's wearing leggings, and he's in the gym just getting it.
He's just like arm up, ripped, and it's just like every morning.
Yeah. The best part is I seen a comment on one of his pages that said, did you ever get caught taking one of these selfies? And he's like, yeah. And he goes, you have to try to play it off every time. Like, yeah, that guy has I reached out to him, but I didn't get anything back. But I would love to talk to him as just like a one-on-one, sit down as like person to person, because he seemed like he's been through some stuff. And he's
Fox, could you please
he would be a cool person.
His number.
Yeah, I messaged him on Facebook. He didn't get back to me, but I said I would love to have him as an interview because he seemed like he's very he's been through some stuff. He's gone through some things, and he worked his ass off, and he's trying to put himself out there. So I would love to try to help him out with that and get that interview. And Vox, anything you need from us on our end for Outbreak, we are 100% on board. We will help you any way we possibly can. We love your promotion. Been doing amazing things. I'm bummed you don't wrestle anymore because I used to miss Scream at Top of My Lungs. Motley Crue, especially Kickstart My Heart, because it's the greatest song ever written. Shared a really cool post that said a man he went to court and said it wasn't his fault he was speeding in his vehicle. It was Motley Crue's fault because Kickstart My Heart came on the radio and he sped and he got caught doing like 30 over the speed limit. And he was trying to say it wasn't his fault because that came on the radio, which I think is a very legit excuse. I think the cops should have let him go on that one.
But I just want to say one thing. My tenure at Outbreak is probably coming to a close soon. I'm looking to move. But when AXW shut down, I just want to say thank you to Vox and Jared. You guys didn't have to stick with me. Being your color commentator, you could have went with anybody. But I am completely grateful, and I thank you guys for sticking with me and giving me the opportunity. This past year has been one hell of a ride, and I can't wait for the next show. I'll give you all I got. Powerbomb TV. I'm looking to move to South Carolina.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Good for
Well,
you, man.
We're at in South Carolina.
I'm looking at Spartanburg.
All right. Well, anytime you're in the area, just give us a heads up, and we'll definitely love to have you back on the podcast. We love you. We love you here too. You've been kicking ass and bringing stuff, and you will always be a member of the group chat and doing that, man. So I wish you the best of luck, brother.
And now you can be a
I didn't get
Panthers
to
fan.
know you a whole lot, but you're great.
We're gonna hug and kiss when this ends. I'm
Brand new
telling you.
Panthers fan.
Damn.
Yeah,
I'm bummed that
gonna
I
be a
can't be
Panthers
involved.
fan. I'm not going to do that for
What's
you.
that, Austin?
I'm bummed that I can't be involved for the hugging and kissing.
We'll get one in for
Wait
you.
until after
Yeah.
the cameras stop.
Yeah, the camera will stop and then
Hey,
it'll
Tyler,
restart. But in
first
private
it's
mode.
Chuck, now it's Dave.
I
Leave
know,
it, hit the
everyone
road.
bounces.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I can't take this.
Well, I've been planning this for about a year now, so
Yeah,
Good for you, then, dude.
Yeah,
Dude, for real.
good,
it's
man.
just the money's been tight. You know how that goes. You're just planning something, and then something comes up, and you just can't do it.
Yeah,
But as soon as income tax hits and I see how much money I got, I'm just gonna.
just give it a shot.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Blast off. Why, you might as well.
Well,
Hey.
we're always here. If you ever need to talk or you want to shout out or talk wrestling, you're always here. I mean,
I'll be that guy in the chat. I'm not sure if you saw the comment from the last chat during. I want to say it was the. Help me out here. Pop culture. I commented, Ben, take your pants off.
oh, I did see that. Yeah,
What?
I usually DB's in the chat too. DB talks to us a lot. But
I
said
think
he's really-
my condolences out to him. His grandmother passed, so I'm pretty sure his mind's somewhere else right now.
Oh, I did not. I wasn't aware of that.
Wow.
He said he has a show tomorrow too, or he has something going on tomorrow.
Probably.
Yeah,
But,
so-
my condolences, Drew. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's a good dude as well. Any time anything you want to plug? Anything coming up?
No. We do have a brew fest coming up. I'll probably be on the show though. Before that, it's February 23rd at the Walk-in Arts Center in School Haven. So if you guys want to try our beer, that's where it will be the next time.
You guys were just in Pottsville, right?
Yeah, we did their
Do we
Winter
know-
Fest Saturday. We kicked all our beers within like 3.5 hours.
So you went up against the big bad Yingling in
he
his
went
own
up against
town.
the Dick and sold
Yeah.
out.
You went up against Dick and sold out.
Yep.
That's the good stuff, man.
Did you sell out?
Nope.
Well, I mean, yeah. Check him out. Go ahead. You give a plug of your pages there.
Yeah, Pilgrim Brewing. Basically, that's all I'm doing right now. And then we're doing the Schuylkill County Brew Fest in May. So they're the only two things I got going on.
Yeah, and I love how he mixes the Brewfest with wrestling. Like he said before, the best brewer of that day gets a championship wrestling belt, which is
Love
so
those-
much fun.
love that
we gotta
belt,
get
yeah.
your ring at the Brewfest, and we gotta have.
I thought
we gotta
about
get some
doing
indie
it.
guys doing a match there.
We thought about doing that, and then I don't know, just too much going on.
You have a
Plus,
ring.
I don't want drunks trying to hop into the ring.
You have your own ring. You get set up in the parking lot.
I know. I
Yeah.
could do
Hint,
whatever.
hint.
Too
We could
much
probably get some. We could
liability,
probably get some
really.
guys there for you. I'm sure we can get a match.
I'll do it. I don't care. I'm training enough.
Besides dropping the bomb on us that you're leaving us, you got anything you want to plug?
Outbreak Wrestling, February 9th, Birdsboro Community Center. Come on out,
We
have a
gotta
good
go.
time. But
I'm always there.
as far as most of us, I'm pretty sure by next weekend we'll be taking up another local show. Not exactly local, but PPW's Impact One Night Only taping. I will be there. I'm sorry if anybody gets offended, but I am a pro wrestling fan first.
Yes.
And I'm not going to pass up the opportunity to see
Johnny Morrison.
that.
Yeah.
That and possibly a once in a lifetime thing to get to see a lot of these guys that you don't normally see in the territory.
Yeah. And here's the thing.
And that's in
We-
Hazleton, right? Okay.
We love Outbreak. You guys are amazing to us. You plug our shows. You help us out on social media. We love going to your shows. But at the same time, and they know too that we're very local oriented. We like helping local business, local people. So local shows go across the board, and a lot of those guys cross promote and help each other anyway. So I don't think it's going to be taken as offense or anything. But yeah, you guys can check us out at that show and the next Outbreak. If you see us and you like the show, come over and say hi to us. We'll definitely we'll talk to you and we love that kind of stuff. Ben, you got anything going on you want to plug?
I'd like to
local
plug
business
that,
venues? Anything?
Actually, well, like me and you were suggesting yesterday, for tomorrow, we're going to that culture shock place.
Culture to
Culture.
culture.
That's
the,
right.
Community or Conversation Cafe.
I'm kind of looking forward to that. And we're doing another episode of Banging Beers on
Soon.
Okay.
We might not do it this Sunday because of weather.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. I didn't even
be
get a
safe there.
lineup,
Let's be
really
safe
get a
there.
true good lineup yet. So
We'll
maybe I'll
probably
pick
shoot
up
for next
some-
Sunday.
I'm gonna try and get some like Pizza Boy and stuff too.
I'm with it.
So,
Yeah.
All right. So because I know you don't like sours, I know
I'll do one for the show, but not like 6 like last time.
we will not do a gauntlet sours.
And
No
he
way.
gave me a coffee where I almost threw up. We got so drunk the last bit.
It was unreal.
Yeah.
What was the highest?
The coffee beer was like 15. It was, yeah.
It was
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, but
What's wrong?
So if you go back
What's
and
wrong?
watch,
Not kill anybody.
if you go back and watch the Bangin' Beers, I know the quality's not the greatest. What happened was we did it live on Facebook. Facebook stream is not the greatest when you do from live to Facebook. It's just not. It doesn't look good.
Man.
That's why we're on YouTube. So we converted it from a Facebook file to a YouTube file. So the quality's not there, but we promise the next one. We know we have been having issues with video quality. We know we'd have an issue with audio quality. I think for the most part, if you guys can agree listening to this show and looking at it, I think we're getting it down. I mean, we're all amateurs when it comes to this. We've been working, trust me. I've been stressing like a madman to get this down.
Yeah, only a matter of time when we're gonna get it down for sure. Yeah,
you know, just stick with us. We are practicing our best. Last but not least, our phone-in guy here, Austin. And that actually worked really well. My phone's only not even just a little under halfway. Do you got anything going on you want to plug, or you anything going out?
I guess the only thing I could plug would be Farlow's, but
I love that place.
Hey, it's your choice. Plug it away.
To be completely honest, I just want to thank Anthony and the rest of you guys for having me along here. It's really cool to get to talk about wrestling with a bunch of other people, and I can't wait to see where this ends up.
Yeah, and now that we know this actually works, anytime that we can get you on the phone, we'll love to do it. I'll try to get you incorporated a lot more because it is very hard when you have 4 people and then someone on the phone, you kind of forget you sometimes. But don't be afraid to chime in and yell at us like, "Hey, I'm still here, assholes."
Yeah, speaking of like learning and growing, the fact that we figure out how to do the call in, and it seems like it's gone pretty successful. It's a pretty big step so far.
100%.
So can't wait to keep
absolutely
that going.
Nice. Yeah.
And the cool thing with the phone call is too is I mean, you know, the nights that we can't have you in, I can have, you know, if Ryan ever wants to call in, or I can get someone from a local thing that wants to quick call in and plug something, we can always do that too. You know, that's always an opportunity. I could do interviews, even if you're not from the area and you want to talk. I just met some guy randomly on the internet. He actually commented on our live stream when I was in Harrisburg, and he's not even from the area. To this day, I still don't even know how he found it. So I'm curious to find out, but I'm gonna call him and maybe get something set up. He supposedly has a really cool story with his father. His father went through some stuff, and he used to make music and stuff, and he can't do it anymore. So I'm gonna talk to that guy as well. So this is a really good test to find out how we can do it. The 10-8 one, some of these guys that we have lined up for Josh may not be able to show up, so we can call them. So this definitely opened the doors for us. So it was a cool, fun experience.
I actually have a friend that I might be able to hook you up.
Yeah.
Oh,
That would be fun to do. That'd be fun to do if we can, and especially if we can get Hendo on this. I love Hendo.
But Austin,
Yes, sir.
when I'm gone, my chair is yours, buddy.
Oh, it is a complete honor. Thank you very much.
When
It's
Austin's
cool
home from
getting to know
college,
you
he will
through the group
definitely,
chat, so.
he will definitely be on here.
My chair is yours, buddy.
Yeah, that's
And
gonna be
please
tough.
don't replace me with somebody who's gonna make it look like a mistake for me to leave.
Well,
No, I can't wait to be back. I really want to get some outbreak shows, too,
Ben's like,
when I'm
sorry.
back.
but yeah, we
nice.
look forward to having you. I would honestly love, one of these times to have you and your dad on here.
Definitely, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Get some
So-
interesting perspectives from him.
I don't want to give away stories, but I'll give you a quick teaser. So Austin's dad went one-on-one with a wrestling microphone legend. If you want to, I'll let you tell it, Austin. It's your
Wow.
dad.
And it's actually funny. The last time I was home, it was the day before I came back from winter break. We were just talking about this story again.
He loves telling it.
He was at a high school gym, and Paul Heyman had the mic. No one else was in the ring yet, and my dad and the legend Paul Heyman got into a good war of words, to put it kindly, and there was some people in the crowd who believed that my dad may have came out on top with a I don't want to go too in depth because they're a little inappropriate, but there was
Give us
there
what
was
you
some
can
good-
without violating the law.
good comebacks
Yeah.
on both sides.
His dad has so many insane stories. So his dad grew up in the Philly area during the heart of the ECW days.
Right.
Oh wow.
So his dad went to almost every taping or everything that had to do in that local area with ECW, and then he'd follow it to Jersey, he'd follow it to New York. He was just a hardcore wrestling fan. Like when we talk stories with him, he even hit stuff that I didn't even know about, like back in the AWA days and stuff like that. Like his wrestling knowledge is unbelievable, and his sense of humor is he's podcast gold. Whenever we have him on, it's going to be a funny show.
I think he needs a one-on-one.
He does, 100% does. He's a cool dude, man. And I go to every wrestling pay-per-view. I go to their house and I sit down with Heidi and his mom sit in the table and they watch from the table, and then me and his dad sit in the couch and we watch as much as we can before he falls asleep because the guy's a hard worker.
Even I was there, and I actually
Ben went one time.
and I liked your dad, Austin. He's pretty cool. And he's
Awesome dude.
hey, like he was honest about it. He's like, hey, what do you like about Braun Strowman? And I'm like, I told him, and he's like, oh, all right, fair enough. Like, he did his thing. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah,
I felt
the guy's a legend.
It's cool. It's
Are
great.
we all
Yeah,
getting together for the Rumble?
I don't want to invite people to other people's houses, but if he's willing, I could run it by and see if he's willing. But he likes to make a big deal out of the Rumble. I know I'll be there, but we'll figure out what we can do.
That means I got to come home.
Yeah.
Where do you go to school?
I'm currently at Temple University.
Oh,
And that's 2 hours away. That's not bad. We'll come get it.
Terrible, no.
And it's actually really cool that now I'm in the Philadelphia area. I've been to the 2300 arena now twice. I got to see Progress there in August, and then I got to see the most recent Ring of Honor tapings. And I feel like I'm going to be able to, I guess, carry the torch for him.
Gen
I got
2.
to go to the
Gen 2 at the arena.
AXW or the American X Wrestling show when it was at the Humane Fire Company, and I want to get to as much wrestling and have as many stories as he does.
Yeah, he has them for days. There's no chance you can make it home this weekend for that show at Morrison, is there?
Probably not.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah, if I get to see Morrison live, that's a big deal to me. So I'll definitely be there.
I've gotten to see some really good stuff live, like Zack Sabre Jr. I got to see Almas Gargano at Philly Takeover.
I was there. I saw that.
Tyler Bate took your towel.
Tyler Bate, Trent Seven took my towel, worked an entire spot in their Progress match. So
Speaking of
I'm
that,
pretty happy so far.
I have Tyler Bates' Mustache Mountain shirt. He gave it to David Starr, which always works over in the UK. David Starr left it in my friend's car, and I took it. So I actually have Tyler Bates' Mustache Mountain shirt.
Nice.
You actually have a Nikki Bella shirt too.
Oh yeah, which she threw at me and hit me in the face, and the first thing I did was smell it.
and then he proceeded to get yelled at by a little girl's dad for not giving it to her. I wouldn't give it to her either.
Back in July, we picked up Jeff Hardy's.
Yeah,
up in Wilkes-Barre.
I never get close enough to do any of that cool stuff.
Well, if you go back and watch that episode, we were on TV almost a good 40% of the night. It was incredible. Wow. I never thought in a million years I'd be on TV that many times.
Our sign made it the night Undertaker was there.
SmackDown 900, right?
Yeah.
That was a good one. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're gonna cut it here. We it was a blast having you guys once again. The only thing I really got to plug is just check out the stuff we talked about earlier. Check out the upcoming stuff. You guys have been amazing with the support. Join the group chat. Invite your friends.
Like us, follow us on Instagram.
Twitter, Facebook. Everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole nine. And I'm wearing DB. I wasn't aware of your recent loss. Our house out to you, man. You're a good dude.
I was wearing Corbin shirt.
Yeah, his Corbin shirt. We got a Bucks, and then we got
I came
Mick Foley over here.
Yeah.
I have my not on camera but over the phone. I have my Crown Jewel Chase Owens shirt.
I love it. So tonight would be what, 3 Sweet? Episode 3, 3 Sweet. What a little shocker.
3 count.
Yeah,
3 MB. 3 MB. I'm not doing a boy band singing that. No.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Austin, thank you. The love is there. I'm going to keep you on the phone real quick, so I want to talk to the group real quick as we cut here. But thank you guys so much, and stay tuned for the next one. See you
guys.
See ya.